Trump. Happy New Year, Sean.
Happy New Year, Allison. Thanks for having me.
Our pleasure. Great to see you. Okay, so we know that Mr. Trump wants to repeal and replace Obamacare. Beyond Obamacare, on day one, what specific regulation will he do away with?
Well, I think you're going to see a series of them, and that's to be announced. We're not going to get out ahead of ourselves, but he released a video right around Thanksgiving talking about the first 5 or 6 executive orders that he's going to issue. Some of them, withdrawing from TPP, renegotiating NAFTA and giving notice, instituting a lobbying ban that is very forward-thinking, that's saying that if you want to serve in a Trump administration, you need to serve this government, not yourself, and it's going to have a 5-year ban going forward, and it also has a lifetime ban on people who want to serve in this administration and then potentially lobby for a foreign government. There will be a lifetime ban on that. There will be a slew of other things that come. But I think part of this is that we'll have a rollout where we talk about the agenda and how each of those regulations, both ones that we're going to repeal and put in place, help grow jobs and economic growth.
Okay. Sean, let's talk about the alleged Russian hacking of the DNC. Mr. Trump says he knows things that other people don't. What will he be revealing to the American public on Tuesday or Wednesday?
Well, it's not a question of necessarily revealing. Remember, the president-elect is privy to a lot of classified information, intelligence reports. He gets briefed by his national security team on a daily basis. So as president-elect, he is privy to information that most people aren't, and he is able to understand what the intelligence is and draw conclusions from that. But one thing I think is missing from this discussion, Allison, is this report that everyone keeps talking about is not final. The current president of the United States hasn't seen a final report. The intelligence community is talking about wrapping it up later this week. So for anybody to be going out and talking about what's in the report, it's not final yet. And I think that the idea that we're jumping to conclusions before we have a final report is frankly irresponsible.
Yeah. I mean, I said alleged hacking, but I want to get back to my question. It's Mr. Trump who said he's going to reveal something. So what is it that he says that he knows things? We accept, obviously he knows things that we don't know. He is getting intel briefings. Is he going to reveal something from an intel briefing?
No. I mean, he's going to talk about his conclusions and where he thinks things stand. So he's not going to reveal anything that was privileged or shared with him classified. But I think he can share with people his conclusions of the report and his understanding of the situation, and make sure that people understand that there's a lot of questions out there, Allison. Number one, look at what happened in April of 2015. The Chinese stole millions of records on U.S. current and former employees, their most sensitive information that was contained in security clearance forms. And nothing happened with the White House, not a single statement. And now you have an instance where there was a political activity going on, and the question is the response of this administration, the same put on, proportional with the activities that happened? And number two, is it a political response to Russia, or is it a diplomatic response? Because we haven't seen these kind of sanctions in peacetime in our history.
Sean, just to correct you, you say not a single statement was ever issued or made after the Chinese hacking. I have the statement right here in my hands. This is from September 2015. President Obama said, quote, "We are preparing a number of measures that will indicate to the Chinese that this is not just a matter of us being mildly upset, but it is something that we will put significant strains on the bilateral relationship if not resolved." He went on to say, "We are prepared to take countervailing actions in order to get their attention." So there were statements.
No, he did answer that. The activity occurred in April of 2015, and what you're saying is, what, 6 months later, he made comments about it when asked? That's very different than the activity that they're going through right now. The White House is being very... let me give you another piece of information. The President of the United States says in September, he, quote, told Vladimir Putin to, quote, knock it off. If he knew then that there was activity going on, why didn't they act? Was it because of a political reason that they thought Hillary Clinton was going to win, and they thought, why address this now? It's only until Donald Trump won that they seem to want to react to Russia.
But Sean, I'm more interested. Hold on, Sean, because I'm more interested in what Mr. Trump is going to do than what we're not electing President Obama again. But you are representing Mr. Trump. So if Mr. Trump, if the conclusion is that in fact Russia and Vladimir Putin were behind the DNC hacks and tried to meddle in the U.S. election, what will Mr. Trump do about it?
He will meet with his team, take their recommendations, and make a conclusion based on that as to what a proportional response should and could be.
And what does that look like?
How can you ask me what it looks like when we don't even have a final report?
Because you must be planning for that possibility.
No, the way that the idea that you should be talking about the conclusion or the actions that you're going to take on a conclusion that's not final yet is unbelievably irresponsible.
Wait a minute,
report
Sean.
is not, no, hold on. The report's not final. He has not been briefed by the heads of the intelligence community yet, and you're asking me what his response should be.
He has
Think
not
about
been briefed by the heads of the intelligence community about whether or not they believe that Russia is behind the hacking.
No, they're coming in later this week to do that. And so the idea that you're asking me, and neither is the President of the United States, frankly, because the report isn't final.
Yep.
So the idea that you're asking anybody what their reaction should be to a non-final report is unbelievable.
Well, hold
I just
on,
don't
Sean.
get it. No, not hold on.
Sean.
The idea that we are asking people and making assumptions on a report that's not final is unbelievable.
Okay, so in other words, Lindsey Graham and Senator John McCain are also unbelievable and irresponsible since
they're not the ones who instituted the sanctions. It's the President of the United States.
They're planning hearings about it. They believe these 17 intelligence.
Oh, wait, stop. Hold on. Listen to what you just said. They're planning hearings. They are actually trying to get it right, listen to what's going on, get the intelligence, and then come to a conclusion.
Wait a minute.
That's actually
Sean,
the right way to go.
They have stated that they believe that Russia is behind this. That's why they're holding the hearings.
I understood. They believe something, then they're having a hearing to get more information, and then coming to a conclusion. That's what we believe should happen.
Yeah.
Understand all of the information, get all of it, get briefed, make sure the report is final, get the intelligence community to brief us on that, and then come to a conclusion.
And you're not going to make any plan. You guys aren't even having conversations about the possibility.
I know this is frustrating for you that we're doing it in a logical way, but no, we are going to actually get all the information, get briefed properly, and then make a decision. We're not going to put the cart before the horse.
And then Mr. Trump's going to speak with his team and decide something.
Yes.
John?